back on the diesel bike project. So the alternator on this thing has never been working. So batteries don't stay charged, gotta put it on the trickle charger. The charging system on this bike is a hodgepodge of parts. I think the actual alternator was from a Kubota excavator, and the voltage regulator was just some random eBay part. So let's get to the bottom of this so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Let's see. Ah, I lied to you. It is for a John Deere. And the regulator is for a John Deere. Of some sorts. A little safety kickstand for the kids. There she be. Now this alternator has weathered some damage in my experimentation of the gear driving, of the gear setup. So it could just be that I ruined it in one of my failed experiments. Just a reminder, I got 2 batteries cranking this Yanmar diesel engine over. Started out with just one, but it wouldn't quite do the job reliably, so having an alternator on here working properly is quite important. So running this engine is smokier than your uncle's pawn shop, so I am going to crank this alternator over using this drill attached to my gear hub here. I didn't design this to work this way, but this is rather convenient. So check out this socket. This is a custom adapter kit. And believe it or not, I had built this for something else. It just so happens to work for this size bolt. Goes right there on my gear hub. Ain't that a dandy? And we're going to be checking for AC voltage because the alternator and the regulator on this setup are separate, which is kind of old school but maybe common on motorcycles. In the automotive world, it's kind of unheard of nowadays. So 7 volts is, I think, pretty good because when the engine is turning, it should be turning quite a bit faster than my drill is turning this setup right now. So I guess that's in spec. Anyways, let's move on. In my engineering mastermind, I put the regulator under the fuel tank. Okay, I'm checking my ground at the regulator. And it looks to be good. So black wire is ground, that's good. So next, let's check the red wire at the regulator, which should be battery voltage. A little bit closer look at it. So the 2 blue wires are coming from the alternator, which is the AC voltage. And I should have ground, battery voltage, and ignition voltage. And this green wire is for like a battery light or something, which I don't need that. I am hoping to put minimal gauges on this bike just for a nice clean look. Now I hate doing this, but sometimes for time's sake you just have to. I am taking my knife and slicing just a smidge of the insulation away so I can put my probe to the bare wire, and then I'll have to go back and repair that wire after the fact. But this is just so I can track down the issue quickly. Okay, got battery voltage. Now I need to check ignition voltage. Now the wiring diagram I got with this regulator actually did not match the regulator that I got as far as the color codes go. So I kind of made the assumption that this white wire is the ignition wire. So let's see. Okay, got ignition voltage. I set this unit up so when the ignition is on, the headlight comes on, so it is a little bit lower than the actual battery voltage. So that tells me that the voltage regulator is likely bad, and that's probably because I didn't buy a John Deere name brand voltage regulator. I bought the cheap eBay knockoff. Before we order any parts, we're actually going to start this thing up. I'm going to make sure that my alternator is putting out enough AC voltage as the engine is running, and if so, the voltage regulator has failed. Little extra glow plug since it's, 10 degrees. There you have it, failed voltage regulator. You know, the old adage that I keep learning but doesn't stick is the buy once, cry once mentality. So I'll be ordering a new one of those. I apologize for not many diesel bike updates. Currently pretty busy on my off days with the new shop build. But when the new shop's done, you'll see a lot more fabrication build projects.
Keep thinking.